We will call the meeting to order. All rise for the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Madam Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Brewer, here. Grant, here. Jones,
Here.
Tate,
Present.
Todd, here. Zupan.
Here.
Okay, before we go into C, I'd like to get a motion from the board to suspend the rules and amend the agenda to add the village engineer to the agenda after the village clerk's report, which will be item 4C.
So moved.
Second.
It was moved by trustee Zupan and second by trustee Todd.
Question, sorry, I'm
Yeah.
rescinding my motion. I think what we need to do is move village engineer from reports of officers, because he's currently listed as 4A number 5. So it's really moving him from there to 4C.
Where you see him at 4A?
Reports of officers?
No, that's all of that is just a motion to confirm those appointments other than.
Oh, okay, apologies. All right, so I do not rescind my motion.
Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Brewer, here. No,
Suspend the rules
oh,
and to add the village engineer's report to the agenda under 4.
I thought that
I
you said
did.
it to me, oh, okay, yes.
Grant,
Yes.
Jones,
Yes.
Tate,
Yes.
Todd, yes. Zupan.
Yes.
Motion carried. Item 1C, I'll entertain a motion to recess into the executive session. Person for personnel matters update or pending litigation, collective bargaining matters, real estate, employment, and compensation as needed.
So moved.
Second.
It was moved by trustee Todd, second by trustee Zupan. Any questions? Madam Clerk?
Brewer,
Yes.
Grant,
Yes.
Jones,
Yes.
Tate, Todd, yes. Zupan.
Yes.
Motion carried. We'll be right back. Okay, I'll entertain a motion to reconvene.
So moved.
Second.
It was moved by trustee Todd, second by trustee Grant. Madam Clerk?
Trustee Brewer, here. Trustee Grant,
Here.
Trustee Jones,
Here.
Trustee Tate, Trustee Todd, here. Trustee Zupan.
Here.
Motion carried. Item number 2, public comment. All questions and comments must be directed to the mayor. Each speaker may comment on any matter pertaining to the business of Sauk Village. Speaker is allowed one opportunity to speak in up to 3 minutes and may not engage in debate. Yes, ma'am.
My name is Heidi Parker, Sauk Village. My comment concerns the position of Director of Economic Development. Mayor Burgess, I'm sure you agree that Sauk Village deserves the best qualified person with the right background and experience for this position. Residents are concerned about this also, and the best value for their tax dollars. For this reason, please explain why this position was not made available through the jobs listing sites at South Suburban Mayors and Managers Association and the Illinois Municipal League. Both of these sites are frequented by qualified and experienced municipal job seekers.
Thank you. Answer to that is, for those sites, we didn't have that type of money. For an average, economic development director, we're talking about $120,000 a year. We don't have that much. nowhere near that. So I felt that I needed someone that I knew that could do the job for a lot less, and that's the reason why I chose that to save the village some money.
I know I can't respond, but I want
No,
to
we're
let
not gonna
you,
go back and forth.
I would like to let you know that I do not agree.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Yes, ma'am.
Linda Washington, I want to state to the board, I really hope that you would consider, before you cast your vote tonight, to hire people in the position where we were told that the village has no money. As you know, one person was let go that made $100,000, and now we have 7 people that's been hired and the village supposedly has no money. I see that some of the people that's been hired already are not listed tonight, and if they're being with taxpayers' money, if they're being paid by taxpayers' money, I want to know why aren't their names listed as well. Also, I understand that the trustees never had the opportunity to see the resumes of the people that's being hired, never saw a copy of their contracts, never knew how much their salaries were going to be, and that's what the trustees are supposed to have. Also, on the accounts payable, they have listed immediate checks. When the previous administration was in place, this was one of the biggest arguments that you all had, a problem with immediate checks being written. It was even vocalized several times. There is no reason for immediate checks to be written. Trustees are elected to watch the money, to follow the dollar, to make sure that the residents are receiving the best and the most qualified for their money. I don't understand why we have to have a position created for an economic development director when that's the mayor's job to find economic development for the village and to bring jobs to the village, or at least even try. I can see maybe even a year into the term opening up this position for somebody to do it, but out the gate, we don't even have any money. We can't even have a 4th of July parade. What does it take to tell people, get in your cars, get in the straight line, let's drive down the street, let's throw some candy, let's stop in the park, and let's celebrate each other with our own grills. We can't have a celebration for the 60th year anniversary, but you're gonna pay somebody and create a brand new position for $68,000, hire 7 other people to give them jobs, no resumes, no qualifications. What municipal training do they have? The village treasurer, your own personal now secretary, whose name is not listed, how much is she being paid? FOIA's being returned incomplete with really no information. So I'm asking the trustees, when you vote tonight for the same things you voted no for the last 4 years, it amazes me how now all of a sudden you can vote yes. And remember that those seats that you sit in, just like we was told, we were bobbleheads. I hope you follow your man and do what's best for the residents and not for friendships.
Yes.
Judy Caster. I have to talk about the money that goes out, the immediate checks. And the problem with the last administration was not the immediate checks themselves. It was the amount of checks going out, the time element in which they did. You have a board meeting on Tuesday night, and Thursday you're writing immediate checks when you had an opportunity to bring it out on Tuesday night and get a vote on it, but you didn't. There's a lot of controversy going back and forth, and we can't keep judging what the last did to the present. You haven't been given an opportunity to show what you can do as far as hiring people. There were a lot of questions on the people that were hired in the previous administration. The police chief was hired through the attorney. A lot of things happened through the attorney that we didn't like. Not only did we hire an administrator and a safety director, but then he was allowed to have an assistant, which we've never had before. So it's a two-way street. And I want to commend you for your power at keeping your cool and doing what you think is best. And until it looks like you're abusing that power, I back you 100%.
Thank you. In regards to your and the immediate checks. One of the items was brought to us a little late, and that was an item for the insurance. At the time, the finance director thought we were going to get some money coming in, and it didn't happen. That's why he held it off. So rather than penalize the personnel, we had to do that. We thought money was coming in from the state in the form of our property taxes, and it didn't come in. So rather than keep waiting, we had to, and I informed the board at the time that it happened, and to let them know we had to pay this payment. And that was a liability issue. Who's next? Anyone next?
I am, Mr. Mayor. I am Francine Anderson, and of course I'm at 1606 216th Street. First time I've had an opportunity to attend a meeting. It sounds like quite a bit of controversy. But I have no idea what people are talking about. I will familiarize myself before I ask questions about any of that. But I would like to ask if you could look into some of the vacant homes. They have hydrants in front of them, and so the grass has gotten higher than the hydrants. So I'm wondering if Public Works can just do anything to clear around those particular hydrants around the vacant properties. That is a concern that I have. Anything else I guess I can address after I've looked. As far as immediate checks, we've always had to write some checks because we get the bills, but I'm glad to see that you guys are able to pay some bills. I was under the impression that we were broke as well. I understand that your economic development person, I just found out, I just got here, so is Mr. Joe, right? Did I pronounce his name wrong? I don't know what the qualifications were or example, but I can say two things that I think would be very important, and that is that this particular gentleman comes with some expertise that other people do not come with. One is he has a background in finance. Second of all, he is a former trustee. So being a former trustee, he has some experiences that the other people, that whoever these other people might be, that others want to have the information, will not have. So I, again, have no idea about what the controversy is, but if it's him, then I'll give my support, mainly because of those two particular things that he offers that other people do not have an offer. Thank you.
Thank you. As far as the hydrants, Public Works is here. I'm sure that's why I asked the department heads to come to the meeting so they can hear the questions. And believe me, we have a meeting each and every Monday, a department head meeting each and every Monday. We discuss things. A lot of things we discuss what happened at the meeting. But I will assure you that most of the meetings that we have about 7 pages of notes. And each and every department head gets a copy of those pages of notes of what they said in the prior meeting. So it would be something that they can look at and say, oh yes, that's right, I did say I was going to do this. So there's checks and balances there. And the guys are very, especially Public Works, police, fire, ESDA, they're on top of their job. I'm here most of the time, 8-9 hours a day, and I do get a chance to go out. And I get a chance to see. I'm not just checking on them, I'm checking to see because I want to make sure our village is presentable so when we do go out there to try to get someone to come in here and do business, that it is presentable. And you're going to see more changes. You're going to see more things that are going to happen. And in my report, I will be talking about some other things. Any other questions? Okay. Approval of the minutes. I'll entertain a motion to approve the executive session board meeting minutes and to hold them to be held.
Second.
It was moved by trustee Todd, second by trustee Jones. Any questions?
Question.
Yes.
Did either of you want to amend your motion to consider whether those should be kept closed at this time?
I said held. I said held because that's what you discussed, so I said that they would be held. Any other questions? Madam Clerk?
Brewer,
Yes.
Grant,
Yes.
Jones,
Yes.
Tate. Todd. Yes. Zupan,
Abstain.
Motion carried. Item B, I'll entertain a motion to approve the board meeting minutes for May 23rd, 2017. Your motion?
I would move that we remove item B from tonight's agenda.
B and C.
B and C?
Okay, so just so you understand, you're making the motion to remove B and C?
Yes.
They have a second for that.
second.
It was moved by trustee Zupan and second by trustee Todd that items B and C be removed off the agenda. Any questions? Madam Clerk?
Brewer,
Yes.
Grant,
Yes.
Jones,
Yes.
Tate.
Yes.
Todd. Yes. Zupan,
Yes.
Motion carried. D, motion, I'll entertain a motion to approve the executive session minutes to be held on May 23rd. In other words, to be held and not disseminated for the date of May 23rd.
So moved.
second.
It was moved by trustee Grant and second by trustee Todd. Any questions? Madam Clerk?
Brewer,
Yes.
Grant,
Yes.
Jones,
Yes.
Tate. Todd. Yes. Zupan,
Abstain.
Motion carried. Item E, I will entertain a motion to approve the special session meeting minutes for June 6th, 2017.
So moved. Second.
It was moved by trustee Grant, second by trustee Zupan. Any questions?
Brewer,
Yes.
Grant,
Yes.
Jones,
Yes.
Tate.
Yes.
Todd. Yes. Zupan,
Yes.
Motion carried. Okay, reports of officers, the mayor's report. I would like to ask for a motion to confirm the appointments for the following. We will vote on them one by one. For the following positions, for fire chief, Chief Al Stoffregen. I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
It was moved by trustee Zupan and second by trustee Jones. Any questions? Madam Clerk.
Brewer,
Yes.
Grant,
Yes.
Jones,
Yes.
Tate.
Yes.
Todd. Yes. Zupan,
Yes.
Motion carried. Number 2, the police chief, Robert Kowalski. I entertain a motion to confirm his appointment.
So moved.
It was moved by trustee Jones and second by trustee Brewer. Any questions? Madam Clerk.
Brewer,
Yes.
Grant,
Yes.
Jones,
Yes.
Tate.
Yes.
Todd. Yes. Zupan,
Yes.
Motion carried. As the chief, Mr. Alan Vavrick.
So moved. Second.
Moved by trustee Zupan, second by trustee Grant. Any questions? Madam Clerk. roll.
Brewer,
Yes.
Grant,
Yes.
Jones,
Yes.
Tate.
Yes.
Todd. Yes. Zupan,
Yes.
Motion carried. Corporate counsel, municipal counsel only, Olson and Sturt.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by trustee Jones, second by trustee Zupan. Are there any questions? Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Brewer,
Yes.
Grant,
Yes.
Jones,
Yes.
Tate.
Yes.
Todd. Yes. Zupan,
Yes.
Motion carried. Village engineer, Robinson Engineering. Entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by trustee Zupan, second by trustee Jones. Any questions?
Brewer,
Yes.
Grant,
Yes.
Jones,
Yes.
Tate,
Yes.
Todd,
Yes.
Zupan.
Yes.
Motion carried. Director of Economic Development, Mr. Joseph Wiswhite.
So moved.
Second.
It was moved by trustee Jones, second by trustee Zupan. Any questions?
I have a comment.
Yes,
I
ma'am.
do have a question. This appointment of Mr. Wizawati was never brought before the board. This is the first that we're seeing of it as a board. I'm not seeing an application. I'm not seeing qualifications. And as a board, I understand that you have the right to appoint, but we as the board, on the advice and consent of the board, would either say yay or nay. Now, this is to confirm the appointment. We never saw the original appointment. So, at this point, I mean, I don't know why this wasn't presented, why we didn't see the application, because this was posted on our website, but I've not seen the application. I haven't seen where this person is actually qualified, and that I would like to see. What I'm looking at on this individual is on LinkedIn. On June 1st, the person posted that they were an economic development director for 2 months. We actually were voted in on May 9th, so I don't know how that could be when this position wasn't even, we had no ordinance on it. So what I would like to see is the application, the credentials, and things like that before I do anything on this.
Trustee, I understand and I do appreciate it. I thought we did discuss this before, but since you said we did not, okay, I'm not gonna argue with that. However, as far as qualifications and as far as the appointment that was this, we could not afford, and this village cannot afford we could not afford to actually advertise for that because we didn't have the money to fill that position for that. I mean, pay for that position, having we went out and did that. This position is an at-will position, so at any time, just like any other position, all positions that I brought into this administration have no contract. There is no contract. No one sitting here has a contract. So that position.
Mr. Mayor, sorry to interrupt, I can't hear for the ones out there.
That position carries no contract, and it's an appointment by the mayor, as all the other appointments that are here today. So there is no contract. The salary is something that I came up with myself. So there was nothing there. As far as qualifications, I believe that this person is qualified until proven otherwise. And I asked you guys about putting this position in play because of some things that are going on in the village that we need to take care of right now. So I appreciate what you're saying, but as far as a resume, I've known the person, I've known what they can do, and I do understand that there may be some apprehensive, but at this particular point, I'm asking you to go along with my appointment, and not as far as something I'm asking you to do as the mayor, to go along with what I actually did this time, and that's all I can say. No, there is no, I didn't have anything posted other than the position, but it was not posted on LinkedIn for a reason, as I stated.
Mr. Mayor, I can appreciate that. And on the ordinance that we passed, you have the right to appoint, but it's on the advice and consent of this board.
Absolutely.
It was never brought up into this board in an open meeting.
Okay, I mean, I understand what you're saying, and I'm not disagreeing.
So the issue that I have is that now you want to confirm this appointment. This individual, I think the issue that I have with this is that this individual has been out there using Sauk Village, Illinois as a Facebook page. Now, and I'm not even going to get into certain things, but has taken residents and has just browbeat and vile things put out there under his name. Now, this is an individual that you want to put in place to represent the village of Sauk Village, to represent the residents. I do have an issue with that. And that's all I have to say.
Thank you very much, trustee. I'm sorry, but I'm not a person that's gonna call anyone to come and do anything as far as reprimanding anybody here. I'm hoping that everybody here is an adult and mature enough to understand we're in a meeting. And I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with clapping or whatever, but we're gonna blurt out. I will call you out. Madam Trustee, and I appreciate what you said, and I do understand that. And I have enough wherewithal to understand, and this person does understand, that I do not want to see anything out there about this village on Facebook, and I was assured of that. So if you see something like that, please bring it to my attention, because as an employee here in the village, we would, excuse me, please. I'm just asking. That's all I'm doing. I'm not taking hand raising. I just ask you, please, can I get the respect that you gave the last person, please? That's all I'm asking. Thank you. But if there's something that comes out, believe me, I will let you know if I see something. And this person has been told about that. So since that person has been an employee here, I haven't seen anything. And they do understand it's going to be just like any other employee. We will not have that back and forth. We will not have issues out there discussed in the meeting. Any other questions?
Comment. On this particular position, it's my understanding that the trustees have the right to vote on any financial liability to the village. As I understand it, since I've been here, we have never discussed any financial compensation for any of these positions. Therefore, in fact, I think it's illegal to have anybody sit in these positions, because according to the Sauk Village statute, that any financial liability must go through the board, and it hasn't. We have not talked about any financial compensation for any hirees or any appointees. I understand that the police chief and the fire chief are necessary and the village clerk is necessary, but it seems to me that we should have the right to advise and consent on any financial obligation or liabilities to the village, and that has not been done so. So with that being said, that's the end of my comment.
Okay, so are you saying that even your position as trustee needs to be voted on?
No,
But that
I understand, but
you're an employee of the village.
I understand.
You're being compensated too.
And it's on freedom of information, it's public information.
I didn't say that. You said that they should be voted on.
And my salary has been set.
Okay.
I mean, just to be officious, that wasn't necessary.
Point taken.
Okay, all right then.
What you're saying is that each and every person that works here, I haven't changed anything. I have not changed any position here in the village. I've added some positions so we can move this village in a different direction and start cleaning it up. Yes, I did. But no one has lost their position. I have not renewed a few contracts. That's all I did not do. So now you're saying that you need to do that, point well taken. I understand that, and it can reflect in your vote. It will reflect, I'm sure, in your vote.
Mr. Mayor, I'm not trying to give you a hard time or anything, but we have an obligation as trustees to address legal liability. And those positions that you just put in there, we don't know how much they're being paid. And according to the...
You did know. You did know.
And according to the Sauk Village Code, we are supposed to have an up and down vote, and we never did.
Okay. Madam Trustee, you did know how much they were being paid, but
we still didn't have the up and down vote.
I don't know what that is.
And we just don't supposed to be
I never heard
debating.
of up and down. But anyway, you were aware of what the salary was. Any other,
Didn't have to vote on.
pardon me? second by trustee Jones. Any questions? Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Yes.
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 Motion carried. Director of Finance,
So
Mohan Rao.
Second.
It's moved by trustee Grant, second by trustee Zupan. Any questions? Madam Clerk?
Yes.
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 Motion carried. Director of Public Works,
So moved.
Kevin Wells.
Second.
Moved by trustee Zupan, second by trustee Jones. Any questions? Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Yes.
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 Motion carried. Also, I just wanted to give an update that we're still taking applications for code enforcement officer and for public works worker. So you can turn those applications in at the front office. These are all part-time positions and seasonal positions. So you can turn those applications in during the working hours of the village, 8 to 5 at the front office. Thank you. Madam Clerk, your report.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I have a couple of things that I just want to bring not only to the trustees' attention, but as well as to commissioners or committee people. We are all obligated to take the training for Open Meetings Act. If you've had it one time, you do not have to take it. However, if you've not had it in your capacity of working with the village, you will have to go on the Attorney General's page and sign up for the training. It's relatively easy. It's going to take you about an hour to do. You can do it at home. You can do it here, however, but know that also everyone that's on your committees must take that training as well. When you complete the training, you will be able to print off a certificate. I will need you to bring those certificates to me because they need to be on file. And we definitely want to be in compliance. Let's talk now about posting your agenda and how to handle your meeting days. We know that the meeting has to be posted within 48 hours. If you email your agenda to me, then that's covering both stones. Because if you email your agenda, I will make certain that your agenda gets posted on the Sauk Village website, but then I will also post it on each side of the building as needed as well. And I will also send it to the library so that they can post for you. We talked about a memo earlier from Oberson and Sturr, and I just want to make certain that everyone has my Sauk Village email, because so many of you have my regular Gmail from communicating with me over the years, and so I know my name automatically populates when you put Marva in, but please, please make certain that you send it to mcampbell-pruitt@saukvillage.org and not to my Gmail account. So I'm just going to ask that you take a little bit more diligence with that. Okay, moving on. Where the FOIA requests are concerned, we will be, as I told you before, reading them as well as posting them out in the hallway. Thanks to Sherry for notifying me this afternoon that I'm supposed to update that. And I will be working with Gerald to update the Sauk Village website as well. But we've had a few since we met last. And the first one I want to bring to your attention was June 21st, and that was from Pat Couch. And she requested all ordinances passed from May 9th through June 15th that made changes to or deletions to the amendments of the Sauk Village Municipal Code in regards to administration, finance, officials, employees. She requested certified copies of the ordinances and all attachments included. I responded directly back to Mrs. Couch, letting her know that those ordinances are posted online, and as long as something is posted online, that's considered their written documentation, so I do not have to actually complete a copy for them. Then we received one that was on the 21st. I'll work backwards then. Then we received one on the 19th. That was from Pat Couch as well. She asked for the salary, the benefit packages of the executive secretary, which is really the administrative assistant. She wanted the village treasurer, the economic development director, and she wanted certified minutes for that as well. And that has been responded to. In fact, it was hand delivered to her just today. We received one on June 15th from Ms. Couch as well. She wanted to know the names of the FOIA officers and the dates of their training. I am one of them, and we have one for the police department, and whereas we both had been trained in the past, we still needed to update that training, so we did that on the 20th, and we mailed that information to her that same day. On the 13th, I received one from Scott Moran, and he just wanted to know the paramedics information, and I think we talked about that. So those are all of the FOIAs that we've received. Know that according to law also, for the most part, you're really not supposed to submit more than 5 within a 30-day period, and so I will be keeping up with the number of FOIAs that's being received from each individual person, and then we will have to talk to the Attorney General about what our next steps are. Let's move on to a more pleasant subject, and that is public relations in terms of our communication with our constituents. Right now we have 4 avenues of communication, and we are doing so at varying levels. We have our website that we normally have. We will be moving toward publishing the Sauk Talk again. We still have our e-blast, and we also have an authentic, official Facebook page, and that is called Sauk Village E-News. And I'm very thankful for the former Mayor Hanks, who transitioned his old official page to us so that there is continuity. So I'm going to invite each and every one of you, if you are on Facebook and you've not signed up for that page, to please do that as soon as you get home this evening. And Mr. Mayor, that completes my report.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Village Engineer, Mr. Jim Zarnik.
Thank you, Mayor. 2 things. First of all, regarding the 2017 street resurfacing project, we started that project on June 21st with curb and gutter removal, and that is continuing to this date. That project will wrap up in a few months. And then the second thing is regarding the sewer cleaning and televising project, and we are still in the midst of coordinating a pre-construction meeting for that. And that concludes my report.
Thank you. Reports of departments, committees, and commissions. Fire Department, Chief Staff Raven.
Thank you, Mayor and Board. Over the past 2 weeks, Fire Department responded to 28 calls. We had 8 fire alarms, 5 lift assist, 2 ambulance PD assist, 1 ceiling collapse, 2 vehicle fires, 2 vehicle accident 1050s, 2 CO alarms, 2 gas leaks, 1 smell of smoke, 1 structure fire, and 1 electrical fire. And that ends my report.
Thank you, Chief. Police Department, Chief Kowalski.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, trustees. For the past 2 weeks, the Police Department had 494 calls for service with 19 arrests. 2 cases of interest. On June 19th, officers responded to an aggravated discharge of a firearm call on the 2600 block of Marigold. Witnesses identified the vehicle and subjects involved in the shooting. Investigators are working on securing charges on those offenders. And on June 24th, officers responded to a robbery call at the Metro PCS phone store on Sauk Trail. How's that? Better? Okay, thank you. The 3 offenders tied up the clerk along with customers and ransacked the store, fleeing from the area. Our evidence officer investigators were called out to process the scene and review the video to identify the offenders. This information was disseminated to other local jurisdictions as well as the FBI, who have investigated a ring involved in this type of crime in the past. We anticipate arrests in this manner. Just a community alert, Chicago has had several what they call bump and run accident carjackings, just community interest. The offenders will bump your vehicle, and when you go to investigate the damage, the passenger of the offending vehicle will run out and carjack your vehicle. If this type of accident occurs or happens to you, be sure to lock your door and call 911. Try to pull over in a well-populated area and turn off your vehicle, taking your keys before exiting your vehicle to look at the damage. Always be aware of your surroundings and don't become a victim of this type of scam. Our old squad cars, we've begun the salvage process of the old vehicles. I want to thank Kevin Weller and Public Works, along with our village clerk, Marva Campbell Pruitt, for their assistance in this process. On an administrative note, the Cook County State's Attorney's Office, on June 19th, I attended a meeting with Katie Hill, Director of Policy for the State's Attorney's Office. The chiefs of police in attendance were told the State's Attorney's Office are implementing new procedures regarding their prosecution of certain traffic offenses. They said due to budgetary restrictions and the decreased number of assistant state's attorneys, they will be conserving their resources in order to focus on crimes that directly impact the citizens of the county. As a result, they will no longer prosecute certain traffic offenses unless the person has 4 prior conviction for a financial type of charge. They admitted that these charges will impact cities, towns, and village government in addition to the police department, since the prosecution of the targeted traffic offenses will fall within the jurisdiction of our local court. The target date for implementing this new plan is yet to be determined, so nothing has changed yet. We will be working with the mayor and our legal team on how this will impact the department, but this does not dismiss the fact that the officers will continue to enforce all the vehicle code laws for the state of Illinois. Our COPS grant, we applied for an extension to our 2014 COPS grant and was granted an extension for finance until March of 2019. I also finished the process of applying for new COPS grants, which were recently updated this past week. And I'll keep the board and the mayor updated as this process unfolds. Lastly, on Sunday, July 2nd, between the hours of 1 and 7 p.m., there will be a blood drive at 22251 Willow Tree, sponsored by LifeSource, in honor of Roger Campbell, who passed away on April 25th, 2013, due to complications of acute myeloid leukemia. The individual running this, it was her son, and they're having a block party, and in conjunction with the block party, they're having a blood drive. So please consider donating. That's the end of my report.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
Just a point of clarification, Chief. The Cook County State's Attorney is set the standard that the individual must be charged with the same infraction 4 times before they prosecute?
Yeah. Yes, that.
Could you explain that a little bit?
So if you were charged with driving under the influence, to get a suspended or a revoked driver's license, you will have to have been charged 4 times for that traffic offense. I'm not making it. This was all over the news. There were some angry chiefs at that meeting. Let me tell you. The other is deadbeat dads and child welfare, because as you know that child payments are tied to driver's license, and if you get a deadbeat dad and you suspend his license for not paying child support, well, if they know that they're not going to get prosecuted, what's going to make them pay their child support? I know we could go on forever.
Thank you very much.
But we have, listen, I'm working with the mayor, and we're working very closely on making some dynamic changes. And I'm just telling you, watch for some good things coming out of this. So out of some bad, there'll be some good, trust me.
Thanks again. Mr. Mayor.
Any other questions? Okay. As the Director Varga.
Just one thing, thank you, Mayor and Board of Trustees. I want to thank Chief Kowalski. He gave me 2 summertime helpers to help clean up the basement downstairs in our office. I want to thank you again, Chief, for that. And I want to thank the board for that program. That's about all I have right now.
Thank you. That program you're talking about is sponsored by Bloom Township. And we got 9 kids today. They came in today. We're having for the next 6 weeks, 4 days a week, 4 hours a day. I asked mostly to have Sauk Village residents to be represented, because before it used to be other municipalities. So I think we have 7 out of the 9 that are Sauk Village residents. Public Works, Mr. Kevin Weller.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Basically, we've got about 8 items here. Landscaping is one of our top priorities right now. Residents are calling in, very understanding. We have a lot of digs that are outstanding right now from the winter time and last year. But the landscaping is ongoing right now. We're leveling dirt piles. All the dirt has to end up back in the hole. I know residents they see the pile out there and they want it removed immediately, but then there'll be a giant hole in their yard and then we have another problem. But we are out there leveling the holes. We are out there doing some of the dirt work, and hopefully when the budget's passed, we'll be able to use some of the money that we requested for the concrete work, which will be the final steps to most of the landscape areas. Next hydrant flush is going to be on the south side. That'll be July 11th. Hopefully everything goes well. Last 3 times we've been doing very well. Also, as the mayor stated, applications are still being taken in for seasonal work for Public Works. At the 30th of June is the last date. After that, we would probably in the first week of July, we're going to start to do our interviews and hiring. So hopefully we'll get a lot of help. This will also help us with cutting the home lots. This will help with all village locations, and it will offset some of our time so we can do some of the more important things on the water side. Light outages, we're still having a bunch of light calls of outages around town. Some of the big ones that we had ongoing right now was Lincoln Meadows. We had 3 lights in the back section and 2 at the front. The 3 in the back were lit. As of today, it looks like they did connect the first 2, so tonight you should have light there. So if anybody wants to let me know, that'd be great. We also had the light connected at 1601 215th Place and 2003 219th Place. So all those lights should be working now. The next light we will be working, next 2 lights we'll be working on Constance and Peterson. They're both on either end of Constance Avenue. The one has been ongoing for quite a while. It's a flashing light. It is a wire replacement to the backyard underground wire. That will probably start towards the end of the week. Grass cutting vacant lots. Public Works has started cutting some of the vacant locations. There's 2 locations on Sauk Trail and Torrance Avenue that we have taken care of so far, and we are taking care of all the houses on Sauk Trail and Torrance that have high grass right now. And we will move into our list, which is currently several hundred. Anyway. As the engineer stated, yes, all of our work, our road projects have started. They did start a little late. I know they wanted to start earlier, but they did start a few days later. They did do a lot of cutting, and their residents are calling right now and asking if they can have extra stuff removed. And unfortunately, we do not have any extra money, so a lot of the sites are just because they see somebody's driveway or somebody's curb removed, they wonder why theirs hasn't been taken care of. In most cases, when I go over there, or some of the engineers have gone over there and talked to them, there's really nothing at that point that needs to be removed, but they just wish they would have got a new curb anyway. So ongoing, we haven't had a lot of calls, so that's a good thing. And anything that we can adjust, if we have to, we'll probably make some type of an adjustment along the way. Wood chips, we had purchased 90 yards of wood chips. This would replace all the chips in the center island pieces in all the parks. So far, right now, we have started on the one at the Village Hall here. We had to put a drain in due to we had a drain in there existing when it was first put in, but the mud and everything and the wood chips from breaking down have clogged the drain. So that, for the last 2 years, has been filling up with water during our really wet season. So that drain is in, and the wood chips will be coming in shortly behind that, and each park will be addressed. Pothole complaints throughout the town now. We have our permanent patch going in. This was here addressed for last week. We did start on the north side of town. They have been through the whole north side, at least with some hot patch right now. So they will go from the north side, south side, and continue out through the community. And that ends my report.
Thank you, Mr. Kevin Weller. Thank you. Great report. And I just wanted to say that I did see, as you came in today, did you see the new chips that were being put around the Village Hall? And I'd like to thank you for that. And it looks great there. So I'm sure the beautification committee person, because she needs more help, is grateful for that. Order to review, community development, Mr. Zinski.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Just a quick report tonight. Today, we have issued 136 property maintenance letters for repairs that are necessary on homes. The process is ongoing weekly. Code enforcement has 331 tickets on the July 6th court call for various violations. A lot of them are for grass. I'll be on vacation July 1st through July 11th, and we'll be back to work on the 12th. In my absence, if any code complaints should come in, please contact Bev or Sue, and they'll be able to handle the problem. And the code and building office will be open from 10 to 2 during my absence. This concludes my report.
Thank you. Treasury report, Ms. Escobedo.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor and Board. I have no report today. Thank you.
Thank you. Reports from trustees and standing committees. Senior Committee and Public Services, Trustee Renee Cruz.
The Senior Advisory, I got to apologize for last week. We did put a posting out, but for some reason we got a little confused there, and the posting wasn't properly posted, so we had to cancel that meeting. However, Senior Advisory Council meeting will be this Thursday at 5 o'clock in the Senior Center. Regarding the public service, I just got the information from Robinson Engineering. We'll be working on that soon. We gathered all the information, and then we'll form a committee later. That's the end of my report.
Madam Trustee Brewer, you said you're having a senior committee meeting?
Yeah, I'm sorry. The draft policy and procedures have been put in each trustee's box as requested. And what we're going to do is talk about the policies and procedures, and also elect some officers for the committee.
Okay, you're going to elect
Thursday,
officers without a policy and procedure in place?
Well, yes.
Okay. Business and Finance, Trustee Roger Grant.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The Budget and Finance Committee had their first meeting this past Wednesday. We kind of went over some policy, some structure, and the overall vision of the committee. And we'll be going over some of the agenda items and possibly bringing it to the board's attention in the near future. Concludes my report.
Thank you. Parks and Recreation, Trustee Calvin Jones.
Summer camp is open and running, going pretty well this year. Also, during that time, we have free breakfast and free lunch for all kids, not even if you don't have to be in the program, under the age of 18. All you do is come up there at 9 for breakfast and noon for lunch, and you receive a free breakfast and lunch. That's for all kids under the age of 18. The corn and dog roast, we have a date set for that. That's September 16th from 11 to 5. Also, next Friday, July 8th, there's the fundraiser that will be leaving from the community center for the Chicago Sky at the Allstate Arena. Bus will be leaving at 5 p.m. Hope to see a lot of people there. And we have the first annual Sauk Village Summerfest. That's going to be July 15th from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. behind the Village Hall. Be on the lookout for the flyers. There will be more information. Right now we got a lot of things that's in the works but not finalized, so I don't really want to put it out there until we get everything finalized. Hopefully I get everything finalized by the end of next week, and that concludes my report.
Thank you, Trustee. Housing and Intergovernmental, Trustee Cecil Taylor.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Our first meeting, we suspended meetings during the election season months. So we're having our first meeting tomorrow at 6:30, and we're going to discuss revamping the committee to take into consideration the new tasks that have been assigned to us. So we're going to do that, and we plan on having an election. The agenda is out, and unfortunately I have not been able to contact all of the members, so I will still try to do a last minute reach out to them. But that meeting is tomorrow at 6:30 here in Village Hall. Let me digress just a minute. Later on, the trustees will be voting on the raffle. As you recall, I hope I don't mess up your name, Betcher? Okay. As you recall, she recommended doing a fundraiser to offset some of the expenses for the flags that I had proposed for us to buy. And bearing in mind that on the agenda, as you see on the agenda, it's just for the raffle. It has nothing to do directly with purchasing the flags. So you'll be voting on whether or not to authorize the raffle. And I wanted this to be an approved activity since we'll be doing it under the name of Sauk Village. So I want to make sure that all trustees were aware of it, and if they want to be on board with doing that. And if it is approved, I'm going to give Trustee Zupan $20, which she said the trustees had to pay. She said the clerk and the mayor had to pay $100. No, she didn't. Oh, okay. But I will be giving her a $20 donation to offset the cost of the original expense. As you recall, Ms. Belcher, she had a blanket that was here that everyone had a chance to see. I hope you had a chance to touch and feel and that kind of good thing. So again, you'll be asked to approve, to give authorization to have the raffle, and that is all you'll be doing. That's all I have.
Thank you, Trustee. Ordinance Review and Beautification, Trustee Linda Todd.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The Ordinance Review Committee will meet on this Thursday, the 29th at 7 p.m. here at the Village Hall. This is where we're going to get acquainted because this is our first time meeting. Also with beautification, yes, I thank Kevin Weller for spreading the mulch. But now with what are the hours of the children that you have? Well, not even the children, but you know
the young adults? 10 to 2.
Young adults, the young adults, 10 to 2.
10 to 2.
Because I'll be here tomorrow, my plans have changed, so I'll be here. The thing is, to have them, I can only be here at the Village Hall, because you cannot transport them in your vehicle. It's a liability. So as much as I'd like to take them to other sites, I can only stay here with them. So, but I'll be here tomorrow.
Thank you. Is that your report?
I'm sorry, that ends my report.
Okay. Thank you. Public safety, Beth Zupan.
I would just like to report that I did receive some additional information that I had requested from the mayor to help me formulate my mission for the committee. I've got that, so I am finalizing what my vision will be for the committee, and at the next committee or the next board meeting in 2 Tuesdays, since we're not meeting next week, I will have a committee meeting date set. And again, if anyone is interested in participating, please see me after the meeting.
That's it?
Sorry, that concludes my report.
All right, unfinished business. The review of the strategic plan for progress is ongoing. We will be starting in July implementing some of the things that are in both of these reviews that we talked about, that all the board has a copy of. The second one is review of finances and procedures. As you saw in both of these reports that I disseminated through the board, we will be starting some of these things that you see in there. So please, if you have anything, and I've been doing this for almost a month now, if you have anything, any changes, please bring them to my attention before we start doing this. Thank you. New business. Surrey Brook Discount Center business proposal. It was brought to our attention last week about a plan Surrey Brook to have a business. And I researched it and found out that there's more to it than just doing that. We have to actually change the way we do business. We have to get the proper license. We don't have that type of license in the village right now. We have to have a different ordinance made up, because right now, for what is being presented, is we don't have a license for that. So, as the board, as I told the board, we have to do that before we can do due diligence as far as voting on something. So, this has to be taken care of. The board's going to have to create a new license. The board's going to have to create a new ordinance, because there's no ordinance for this type of business that's in the village right now, and this is what I was told by the lawyers. So, Mr. Pfefferman, before you leave this evening, I do have that information, and I can disseminate it to you, or if you have to go, I can email it or mail it to you so you can get a copy of it. Item B.
Comment.
Yes.
Do we even discuss even going forward with this, or, I mean, do we try to put a time into a new policy and new ordinance for this, or?
That's what we have to do. We have to do that. As a matter of fact, Madam Clerk, can you put that on the agenda that for the 18th? So we can discuss the logistics of doing it. Any other questions? Okay. B, business license. I'll accept any motion if anyone wants to make a motion to grant a business license at this time for a bar. That's basically what it is. A business license. There is no business license for bars right now. They've all been the sunset provision means they've all been retired. So right now we have no business license for a bar. So that has to be brought to by the board. We heard that someone wants one, so I'll accept a motion. I'll entertain a motion if someone wants to make a motion to put a business license. Because once you get the business license issue, we have to get a liquor license. But right now,
Do you mean liquor license?
no, you have to have a business license first before they can get it. So
Okay.
you have to make a motion.
I know the liquor license. Okay.
Right, but because, and keep in mind, that's exactly what you just got to say. The liquor license is not available, but they have to have a business license first. So.
Question. believe they said they want to, use Tom Tap. Is that building, has it been,
Before all that happens, I
Yeah.
mean, first of all, they want to know if you're going to give them a business license. And quite naturally, that has to be taken care of at the time that they go in there, and they won't get an occupancy permit until all these things have been taken care of, and that's part of it, is to make sure that it's able to be occupied. But you got to do first things first. First thing is to authorize the business license for the liquor establishment, or what, for the bar. I'll entertain a motion if anyone wants to make a motion for that.
I move that we grant a business license to Alice Sun for the purposes of establishing a bar, provided all code and correcting of outstanding issues with the location are resolved. Is that appropriate? Yes?
They can't get an occupancy license until everything else is taken care of. All we're doing is granting them a business license so they can't go in but they cannot even open up without occupancy permit. You just grant them a business license.
All right, so I move that we grant Alice Sun a business license for the purposes of establishing a bar.
so moved? Second.
Which one? Okay. It was moved by Elizabeth Zupan and second by trustee Bernice Brewer. Any questions? Madam Clerk?
Yes.
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 Motion carried. I'll entertain a motion to accept the ordinance that we talked about last week, adopting the prevailing wage standards.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Beth Zupan, trustee Zupan, second by trustee Grant. Any questions?
Yes.
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 Motion is carried. A motion to accept an ordinance opting out of the Cook County minimum wage and sick leave.
So moved.
Moved by trustee Todd, second by trustee Brewer. Any questions?
Can I just say that I'm not happy about these being joined together? Just a comment, that's all.
That's the way they presented.
I understand, I'm just going on record saying I don't like it.
We didn't make it. That's the way it was presented to us.
I know.
Yes.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
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 Motion carried. Motion to accept the ordinance approving the intergovernmental agreement to establish a joint 911 authority.
So moved.
Second.
It was moved by trustee Zupan, second by trustee Jones. Any questions? Madam Clerk?
Yes.
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 Motion carried. I entertain a motion to approve accounts payable and disbursements per Sauk Village policy.
So moved.
Second.
It was moved by trustee Grant and second by trustee Todd. There any questions?
Question. This accounts accounts payable, shouldn't it have a date on it? Because it says all, and can it be more specific and have a date on it? You know, for future reference
What do you mean date? Where?
on the agenda.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, you said on the agenda. Okay, I thought you said the accounts payable itself. Yes, and duly noted. You should have a date.
Okay. Question then, on page 1 of the accounts payable for this time, we have professional services prosecution for Kevin Cunningham, $1,300. Do you know what that's for?
That's the adjudicator. No, I'm sorry, the prosecutor. That's his salary.
Question? On the front page, it has Chicago badge and insignia for $525.98. If I'm not mistaken, that was on June 13th as a media check too. June 13th accounts payable.
I believe that those were the actual badges. And I think that this is our actual name tags here.
Oh, so these are for name tags.
No.
And the others were badges?
The badges were ordered May 24th. There's a check was issued at that point in time. It was just picked up when the badges were delivered last Tuesday.
Any other questions? Madam Clerk?
Brewer,
Yes.
Grant,
Yes.
Jones,
No.
Tate,
Yes.
Todd,
Yes.
Zupan,
Yes.
Motion is carried. A motion to approve the free/reduced cost benches of recycling materials program, the program that was brought to us by Trustee Zupan that she talked about last week.
That was not supposed to be on tonight's agenda.
Okay, you want that stricken? Okay. Okay, I'm sorry, G. I go back. Motion to approve a budget allocation that was presented to the board by the village clerk. I'll entertain a motion. Okay, lost the motion. Motion dead. I, motion to approve fundraiser for the patriotic flags.
So moved.
Second?
It was moved by Trustee Grant, second by Trustee Zupan. Are there any questions? Madam Clerk?
Brewer,
Yes.
Grant,
Yes.
Jones,
Yes.
Tate,
Yes.
Todd,
Yes.
Zupan.
Yes.
Motion carried. Okay, J is for your for the board's informational purposes. We will not be having a meeting next week, but you have some material there that you need to look at. If you have any questions, I'll be in the office. But it's a presentation and discussion of the ordinance for the municipal code, and it states the standing committees that we have, and we're going to vote on that on July 11th. So it will be on the agenda, but does everyone have a copy of those? Okay, so take a look at it. If you got questions or anything, get back to me, or and we can discuss them. But and then our ordinance review committee, I'm asking, can you look at those and then let us know if there's anything that you need to change before, because we have 2 weeks now, so give us a look at it. If it's not, if it's something that we need to not do at that time, let me know. We won't put that on the agenda.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay, 9 general comments from the mayor and board of trustees. We'll start with Trustee Todd.
No comments.
Trustee Brewer.
My comment concerns the recent approval of the appointee. I am in the position to think that according to section 30.29, that for expenditures or appropriations, money shall require the concurrence of all of the majority of the members of the board of trustees. Now, I don't recall, and my memory might be flawed, no money came across asking for the compensation for these positions. Therefore, I have no objection about the people in the position. I'm concerned about the money, and we never voted on it. So my position is, and according to, I thought we were supposed to have reform, and we're supposed to do this thing right. And according to the Open Meetings Act and the Sauk Village Municipal Code, we didn't do that. No money was voted out or even talked about for compensation for the different 4 positions. In addition, I'm sort of concerned about these positions were put in the budget, and once they're in the budget and the budget is approved, that these, the monies will be paid to the individual, which they should because they work, but still we have to go back and do the stuff the right way. And we should have voted on the compensation for these different positions. And that's my end of my comment.
Trustee Tate.
I'd like to pass down my $20 to Trustee Zupan. And you and the clerk in $100 bills.
This is 20 towards.
That's 20.
40.
I have no report.
Trustee Jones.
Well, I just want to state for the record, reason being on my no for accounts payable, it's just I didn't receive it in enough time. So I didn't have enough time to thoroughly look over. So that's why I gave my vote no. Just a mistake, a mishap. And that's it.
Trustee Zupan.
Thank you, Trustee Tates, for the reminder. I would remind all of the rest of the board that I did put that challenge out last week, that I think if we all come up with our $20, that means that the seed funding for the blankets will be covered. So if you have your 20s on you tonight, I'm happy to take them. That concludes my comments.
Trustee Grant.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. My only comment is that we only have a couple more days before village stickers are due, and that fees will double after July 1st.
That it? Thank you. And to that note, as we stated before, there will be no meeting next week. That's the 4th of July. Be safe. Be careful. I just wanted to reiterate that fireworks are illegal in Illinois. So just wanted to let you know that, the law is the law. So everyone be safe, be careful, and I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
It was moved by Trustee Todd and second by Trustee Jones. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposes? Motion carried.